Hey people out there, how are you? KhaazRa. Not from Orlando today, from sunny California. So I'm gonna wait till a couple people tune in here, just to make sure I get this message out. I absolutely wanna get this message out to you today, and I have another camera here, and I'm just gonna record on both. Boom. Hey you people over there. So, what I want to talk about today is everyone's talking about everyone's talking about sales, right? You absolutely must have sales in your business if you want to survive. You absolutely must have sales in your business for sure, right? You over there and you over there. But I think the one thing that is being missed, because anyone can say anything, right? Especially with marketing, you can pretty much make any freaking claim you want to. You can say that you are the god of all gods of marketing, and that you've made all these people this amount of money. No one's going to ask you to actually prove it, and you can even create a fake document if you wanted to, right? Until you talk to other clients that have gone through your program, you can pretty much say whatever you want to say. You can make whatever kind of claim you want to make, because also there's no contract being signed. Like if you were a marketer, right? An online marketer in particular, and you were doing business with another brick and mortar entity that normally does contracts, they would make you sign a contract stating that you're going to do what you claim you can do. But being that that is not the case, we tend to just make any kind of claim that we want to. So how does that affect us here, right? All those of us who are entrepreneurs, or maybe we're trying to do business on the side, or maybe we even an entrepreneur where we're working inside of another company and we're offering their services to someone else. Now, here's the thing. Remember, you can sell anything, but what's going to happen is if you make these sales based upon these false claims or claims that you know are not true, and or if you do not follow through, you will lose the sale. You will not only lose that sale, which will be reversed, you're going to lose any future sales that you could have had. So let's say, for instance, you have a client that pays you $2,000 a month, right? Or it could be $5,000 a month. That's potentially like $60,000 a year, or if it's $2,000, it's $24,000 a year, right? You're going to lose not just that month in your time, but you're going to lose that, and you're going to lose all the months after that you could have obtained a long-term client for. And the reason is pretty simple. Just stop freaking lying. I really hate to say that. You know, it's no point in me creating all these fancy words. Stop freaking lying about what you can do. It's almost like you're meeting a woman and you just gas her up and you feed her all this BS, right? All these lies. There's really no way to get around it, because it's going to come to a point where she knows and you know that you are lying, and what's going to happen after that, right? The relationship is going to go downhill. It's going to be over. The better thing to do, right? Somebody said thumbs up. I say the better thing to do is just be honest, right? Now, you know that there's a problem that needs to be solved. You know that there's a need and a want, and simply state, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to try to help you. And if I don't know the answer, I will get the answer, instead of all this other stuff. And then once a person realizes that you're no longer accessible, you can't be reached, you really didn't know what you were talking about, once someone gets to that point and they realize that what you said is bull crap, that's when it's downhill. And it's just so much easier the other way around, all right? So I don't want to keep you long. I think I have Anthony and Alberto over here who are tuned in. If you have any questions, I would love to hear them, but I'm not going to keep you long, because that's really all I have to say. I'm here in my office and I'm constantly telling our sales consultants the same thing. Some of them already have it built into them where they're just that kind of person. You know, I think they have good ethics and they care about other people. And I think you have the other kind of sales consultant who cares about themselves only, and they kind of live in the moment, so to speak, not realizing that you're going to be working so much harder and extra just to try to get that client back. You got to go through all the BS. It's just too much. And then now you've lost potential business, and not just from that client, but from other future business that you could have been referred to, right? So unless you have some kind of program that keeps people locked in month after month after month after month, and you don't have to communicate with them, I would suggest that you be very ethical as honest as you possibly can, and work towards a resolution as opposed to just, giving people gas, right? That is my tip for today. Anthony says that other consultant needs to be fired until he realizes he cannot faking it. Well, that's what we do. We get consultants who come in here who basically go through the sales training programs that they have out here, and they're everywhere online today. This is how people are being trained. We even get people who come from big banks, like, I shouldn't say the name. I'm not going to say the bank's name. But hell, I say it. They're all over the internet anyway. They come from Wells Fargo. They come from Bank of America. They come from Chase. They come from a lot of different banks. And this is how some of the banks, the big banks, train them. Well, not Chase lately, because they don't even do that anymore. It used to be a company called Payment Tech. But let's definitely Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and a few other banks. This is how people are being trained. So you have to kind of like untrain them. Now, if someone's coming from the online world, I think that's like 95% of how people are being trained. Get the sale, and then boom, it's hands off from there, right? There has to be some level of contact if you want to keep an existing client. What does he says? Like a monthly recurring contract. A monthly recurring contract will definitely keep a person locked in for sure. But even those sometimes can be broken if it's based upon misrepresentation or total fraud. That's all we deal with is contract, right? And that's why I think I'm having a hard issue sometimes dealing with some of these new online marketers, because everything is just talk. It's just a lot of say. It's just, there's nothing written down. There's nothing like in a contractual form of what you're going to actually provide. And then once you pay, it's like, I didn't say that, and then you're chasing people, and it's really just a waste of time, because to me, I feel like I should be paid for you wasting my time, because that's how valuable my time is to me. So yeah, a monthly recurring contract definitely would be a good option. Of course, if the service is being maintained, some kind of software platform, or just some kind of automated service, but you still have to follow up. There still has to be great customer service if you want to maintain that client. And I see it all the time, like literally all the time. So, what does it say? Marcos Espinal. Marcos, hey, what's going on? So, any other questions for me? I'd love to answer them while we're here in the office. You see I have all this, there's tons and tons of paperwork here. It's really interesting because I live in Orlando, Florida, but I have to take an Uber to the airport. People talk about commuting. Oh my God, I have the commute of all commutes. I live in Orlando, Florida. It takes me like 25 minutes to get to the airport. Then I have to catch a plane. It's like 5.5 hours. Then I have to catch an Uber from LAX to the office, which is like another hour. That is one hell of a freaking commute, like a serious commute. Anthony, he says, are you getting any hemp merchants? No, man, I don't think we're getting hemp. Hemp is in medicinal, like marijuana. Is that what you're referring to? If that is the case, then like no one's doing that. I keep hearing people saying that they can do it. People are just talking. No one's actually doing that unless you go offshore or something like that. You can't even have a bank account open up in America if you are into like, the whole marijuana thing. CBD oil. No, it's a little bit too risky right now. Still kind of risky. A lot of chargebacks. Someone tried it and they got a ton of chargebacks. It's just too much risk to handle. I think cash is probably the better way, because once you give a person cash, there's no coming back from that, right? But at least with the marijuana centers, at least you can physically go back to a business, and if you have a complaint or maybe they gave you a bad batch or something like that. So no, not right now. But we are an official FSP now, Anthony. Is it Anthony, right? Anthony, I'm sorry, Anthony. We are an official FSP. I don't know if you really know what that means or not, but that means we can pretty much underwrite whatever we want to underwrite. That means the entire risk is held right here in this same office that I'm in right now. Not in this office, but this building that I'm in right now. So soon. Is that like a market that you're into? Is that your focus? That's a high risk market, but is that your focus? Let me see here. Do I have any other questions here? I think that's all the questions I see here. Yeah, that's it. So that's it for today. Remember, is be as honest as you possibly can be. Oh, I see Jay is in the house. Jay Cromash. Jay Cromash. She's a very high power, high energy guy over there. So it says, I'm responsible for $10 million in what, CBD oils? Yeah, that's definitely not a market that we target. We don't really target high risk clients. Not that it's a bad industry to be in. More power to whoever does that. But definitely we don't target high risk clients. It's just way too many chargebacks for it, and we personally, individually ourselves as a company, we hold 100% of the risk. So for those kind of clients, you know, it could be an easy, you can make $1 million and you can lose freaking $1.5 million or something like that. Oh, -0.1 chargebacks. I don't know what that means, -0.1. Either you have chargebacks or you don't, so I may not be reading the question properly. But are you saying that you have less than 1% per month? If that's the case, then man, that's pretty freaking good if that is the case. Oh, no chargebacks. Oh, wow. Why don't you message me then, man? If that's the case, message me. And we'll pretty much go from there. That's pretty good with no chargebacks, and you're doing $10 million per month, right? Is it $10 million per month or is it $10 million per year? Either way, it's still cool. But I'm just interested to know. Per month, right, Anthony? Okay, yeah, man. So definitely message me. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Definitely message me, and then we'll pretty much go from there. Where are you located, by the way? Are you in California? Marcos, what you into? What are you into, Marcos? He says, me too. I'm not really sure what that means. Oh, Fort Lauderdale. Oh, okay. Well, I'm in Orlando, but this office here is in Orange, California. So you should come maybe check us out at some point. Message me. Well, message me, Marcos. I've already messaged you before, but you didn't respond to me, man. So I even text you the night we were at the salsa thing. So I hope to see you this Friday, maybe, Marcos, at Unity of Dance. Give them a shout out. So remember, if you are into sales, it's super easy to get the sale, but if you don't want to, work extra hard because, what does he say here? No, I'm talking about the CBD. Oh, you're into that as well? Okay, well, message me then, man. Everybody's into that, huh? Hold it, Anthony, you said you would be at Unity. Who is Anthony? I gotta see who Anthony is. Okay, so I'll plan on being there Friday, man. It's gonna be a freaking long flight back. So as soon as I get back from over here, I'm gonna go put some clothes on and then head straight out to where you guys are. So I'm looking forward to it. So let's talk then if you like to. Oh, you know Christian? Okay, cool, man. Yeah, Christian is a cool guy, man. Cool guy. He's been at it for a while, man. He's been at it for a while. You know what's interesting is that I'm always talking about building relationships and things like that. And okay, yeah, let's do it. The one thing that keeps me going back to Unity, it's not necessarily that they have the best DJs. I'm not saying that they have the worst DJs either. I'm not saying that they have like the best environment, the best dance schools and places to go to. But Christian, to me, has kept the relationship. And his relationship keeps me going back. I think relationships will keep you in business for a very long time. Now, of course, he's just one person, and he can't have relationships with 1,000 people. But hey, hi, how you doing? He messages me sometimes. We go out, he'll speak and things like that. Just the small little things. And believe it or not, those things go a long way when you're dealing with clients. It goes a long freaking way. To just get a client and then never communicate with them again is like retarded in my mind. It literally is ridiculous. And then once your client realizes that you were only in it for the money, just be honest about it. Like, stop lying, making up all these excuses. I tried to call you, tried to message you. Like, I'm going through that right now with a guy who I actually like. I won't say his name in case he's listening, but I kind of like the guy. He's a cool dude, right? Young dude. And I gave this guy $2,500, right? Spoke to him one time after that. We were supposed to speak again the very next week. Could not freaking get in contact with him. He didn't message me. He didn't text me. He didn't do anything, right? Like nothing. And then I message him, I'm texting him, I'm leaving voicemails or voice text rather, for 2 weeks, right? Now I'm a busy guy, right? Very busy guy. And didn't hear anything from him whatsoever. It's the moment I create a reversal, which I let him know in advance, like, dude, I'm getting ready to charge this back since I can't get in contact with you. Boom, that's when he pops up. Like, oh, I've been trying to get in contact with you. And it's like, why freaking lie? We're both grown men. Nobody's gonna get a whipping. You know what I mean? Why lie? You know, I really don't get it. So keep the relationships going. You know, I'd rather for someone to say, you know what, man, I got busy and I ignored you. You know, I'd rather have that than the lies, right? It's just because now now I know that you're a liar. You know what I mean? Or that you're not honest. I hate to use the word liar, it's such a such a base or immature word, but it is what it is. But now I know that I can't trust you because, you know, the only thing you have in this world is your freaking word, right? Your reputation precedes you. You heard that saying before. So I'd rather have that than someone who is like not honest and ethical about it, because now I can't trust you with anything, right? Like, period. So just keep that in mind. But unless there's any other questions, Marco says, right, Christian Sola, I can't believe Christian Sola tuned in. Anthony must have told him. So Christian Sola, we just gave you a shout out, man, for unity. It's not that many people listening here, but maybe some other people will hear this after a while. I'll also give you a shout out on Instagram as well, but I hope to be at your event this Friday. I'm in California right now, but I hope to be at your event this Friday. And Dater says, trust is everything. Better to admit fault than to pretend there was no fault. Man, that is, boom. That is so key. So key. Yeah, so key. And like I said, relationships are the key. And from now on, even when I do business, it has to be someone who I have a relationship with. No longer will I just make a knee-jerk reaction and just buy, because I always get burned like that. I really do always get burned. I think relationships are key, and that's why I mentioned Christian, because he's kept a relationship. Like him and I, we don't hang out, we don't go out, we don't drink together, none of that stuff. But, you know, just the small things. Hello, hey, how you doing? He may message me here and there. And just those little things, like, keep me, you say, yes, I agree. Those little things right there lets me know that, you know what, the dude, he's not just in it for, because it's not like I'm giving him a lot of money. What does it cost a dance? 30 bucks? 40, 50, 60, 70? I don't even know what it is. 10 bucks when you go per night or whatever. I'm not sure what it is. But it's not the money. It's not the money at all. It's just really just feeling good about, you know, your relationship with whoever you're doing business with. So I think that's all that I need to say today. Yes, agree. So I hope to see Anthony. Hope to see Marcos. I hope to see Christian there as well. Christian, man, you listening, or you just tuned in and went to the bathroom or something? So yeah, keep doing what you're doing, Christian, man. We all want to support you here. And I'm just scrolling through to see if I see any other questions. All right, if there's no other questions, I'm going to like bounce out of here. But let me just tell you this too. If you are out there and you're interested in increasing your income, but this is not an overnight program where you make $10,000 to $20,000 and you basically, you know, tell people that you're worth $20,000 for your offer or service, and you know you're still using a freaking Gmail account, and you don't have things set up to provide that kind of service. This is not that kind of program. This is a kind of program where we teach you how to create recurring income over time. Over time could be 6 months, it could be 3 months, it could be a year. It all depends on you. But that's what we do here. We do it in a very ethical way, where you're not running from your clients when they see you. You're not like looking at the phone, dodging it, you know, putting it on mute and things like that and just ignoring them to death. It's not that kind of program, right? We have customer service. We have staff in-house 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So you don't even have to be the kind of person who has to always answer your phone. But you at least need to be able to direct them to who to call, just in the event that they do call you, okay? So all the other stuff is taken care of. If you're good at building relationships, if you're good at building rapport, if you're good at sales, boom, this is the way to go. So hope to hear from you. That's right, the world is small, Anthony, and I look forward to seeing you two guys, actually you three guys, really soon. So, all right, be good. Take care.